Hello, I'm Benny Westside. Today I want to talk to you about the brand new Pegasus team. This is going to be our new Tech Raid team, and I'm looking forward to discussing it with you. The team's going to consist of Kestrel and Rescue, who we already have on our rosters. We're going to have Iron Man Infinity War, Ironheart Mark II. Those are both variants, and then Darkhawk. If you want to consider Kestrel as a variant of Shield Assault, then this team has three variants. So let's start with her. She's not getting too much of a rework per se. It's more of a touch up. She basically just got the tag, and then she's giving focus and resistance to the team, but not to herself. She is getting slight stat adjustments, about 32% in health and 28% in damage, and I think 23% in focus. So uh, she's 2.5 years old at this point. So they're bringing her up to class with our current meta, which is great. Her kit doesn't really need much. It's just the stat bump that really helps her out. But you're gonna see in a bit where she comes in on somebody else's kit, and it's pretty exciting. Yeah, so her kit doesn't change as much. No raid callouts, no team callouts, so that's great. She still retains her standalone value, and I would say she is probably still one of the top picks for Dark Dimension 6. All right, let's get to Iron Man Infinity War. This is the Tony we saw kicking, trying to kick Thanos' ass on Titan, and he did drop blood, and it's the Tony we saw on in New York trying to fend off Ebony Maw. So the focus of this team is having a lot of vulnerables on the enemies and exploiting that basically. Each of the team members, besides Kestrel, has a call out to vulnerables. So because these kits aren't in a blog, I'm gonna spend a little more time on them than usual, and then we're gonna look at Dark Dimension value and general standalone purpose. So Iron Man is a brawler, which is great. Uh, just like Thor Infinity War. They're both hero brawlers. I like that. Uh, in a pinch, you could put them on a Young Avengers team. Anyway, so when a positive effect is applied to this character, any Pegasus ally or a Thor Infinity War ally, so they brought in some nice lore synergy. He's gonna heal all of those allies and self for 3% of his max health. This in a way is similar to what we've seen with Web Warriors and Bionic Avengers, but it's 3% everywhere, and this is not the only source of healing for the team. And positive effects are frequent on this team, so this should be proccing almost every turn. When this character or a Pegasus ally drops below 50% health, he's going to perform some reflexive support. He's gonna give speed up and death proof, and then if that ally is rescue, he's gonna gain taunt. This is our only taunt on this team. That's another small lore synergy or couple synergy, which I really appreciate. He's gonna give 30% damage for the team and Thor, which is really nice. And then he's gonna give 30% health to the team only. In raids, if for enemies with vulnerable, he's gonna lower their resistance, which is great, so that you can apply more defense downs on them to trigger Kestrel. You can apply other control effects. All right, his turn one is going to be his special, his Blade Barrage. He's gonna attack primary, apply bleed, apply ability block, and then he's gonna rebound chain to 5 targets and apply bleed, and then he's gonna give speed up to the whole team as well as Thor Infinity War. And then looking at his turn two, he has a massive AoE that applies defense down to everybody, and then if Kestrel's an ally, he's going to uh, he's going to do even more damage, double damage. He's gonna apply blind for 2 turns to the primary, and then in raids, he's gonna apply blind to all enemies with vulnerable. So that this is the value of having a lot of vulnerables on the team. Spread. He's gonna spread positive effects from self to a Thor ally, and then in raids he's also going to do that to uh, Pegasus allies. And then again, this ability as well gives speed up to the team. And then in raids it's unavoidable, unblockable, which is really pretty cool. And then looking at his basic, he's gonna apply vulnerable, and then chain. Do a conal damage, and then he's going to gain speed up. In raids, he's going to reduce speed bar for all targets. And it's nice that he applies vulnerable on this attack. I think most of the team is gonna land as a raider just to keep the vulnerables on the field, but Iron Man is probably gonna be the only striker because he has that rewind on his basic. I think that's really valuable. Being able to target that at somebody and make sure you rewind them double or on one of his other abilities, I think that's really cool. I really like this kit, and I'm looking forward to playing with him. One thing is this ultimate ability, the AoE. It, as I said, is a team up with Kestrel. And if you remember back in the old days where the classic Iron Man with Captain America, they had a special animation. These guys do have a special animation, uh, and I wish I could show that to you. But oh, wait, hold on, sorry. Oh, you guys saw it? Okay, well, my bad. Well, okay, now let's look at Iron Man's standalone value. This character has 107 speed. He takes osmium, which is sad, but you know, oh well. He's probably one of the better members of the team, so that's why they give him the premier unique. He takes 3 sets of minis in tech. As a standalone, he does shed a lot of his kit. That's true. Outside of raids and off of his team. But he still has an AoE with defense down. He still has a blind. He has bleeds, and on his basic, he applies his own vulnerable. So, while not great, as a solo character, he's not awful. I don't think we will use him without any of his either Pegasus allies or any of without Thor Infinity War. Uh, but you know, it might happen. I think he's gonna be a popular choice for Dark Dimension 6, mainly for his value on his team. But because he's tech and global had been lacking good tech choices, Osmium might be a deterrent. But I would still recommend considering him, especially if you're bringing in rescue. Now let's look at rescue. That way, you can see why I'm recommending her or both of them. So rescue has, let me see. She has 117 speed. She's gonna go third on the team. Kestrel has 125. Iron Man has 107. Rescue has 117. She's gonna go third on the team, and she's getting a big health bump, 127%. So that's gonna bring her to top 60 as a solo character, and then with Iron Man, she's gonna be in the top 20 health percentile or health ranking. Okay, let's look at her abilities. In raids on spawn, she's gonna apply defense up to the team. We've been seeing this on a lot of teams, and she's gonna fill this role here. In war and raids, in reworking her, they kept her war callouts, they kept her power armor callouts. I think that's been great. Uh, so she's on spawn in these two game modes. She's gonna barrier her team members for 20%, which is really nice. Uh, she also has a reflexive support ability, and this is universal. On any ally, when they fall below 50%, she's gonna apply 10% barrier. And then in war and raids, instead she's gonna apply 20%. That's really nice. On enemy turn, if that character has vulnerable, again the vulnerable call out, she's gonna heal the whole team and power armor for 3%, and this is not locked to raids. This is everywhere. If Iron Man Infinity War dies, she's gonna gain. She's gonna. Oh, I thought she was getting energy. Well, she's gonna cleanse the team and then apply immunity. Oh, there she is. There it is. In raids, on death of any Pegasus ally, she's gonna gain speed bar and ability energy. I confused those two. So, when Iron Man dies on his own, she's anywhere in any game mode, she's gonna help the whole team. And then in raids, on death of any Pegasus ally, she's gonna gain energy and speed bar. And then she also has a 15% health call out for the team. So now let's look at her first turn. This is her special, her tech shield. She's gonna steal 5% health from each target and redistribute 5 times that energy to Pegasus allies and herself. She's gonna bury herself and all allies, tagless, 15%, and apply regeneration to all of them. In war and raids, instead it's 2 regens. And then in raids, she's gonna apply death proof and deflect to the Pegasus team. So this 5% health steal is nice as a heal for the team. It's not necessarily very impactful when it's on a 6-turn cooldown. In terms of damage to the enemy. Okay, let's look at her ultimate and why it matters that she gains energy and speed bar on Pegasus ally death. She's gonna revive one Pegasus ally with 60% health. She's gonna cleanse the whole team. She's gonna heal the whole team. Team as in Pegasus allies. And then she's gonna give offense up to self and all power armor and Pegasus allies. In war and raids, she's gonna apply immunity to any ally. And then in raids, she's gonna give speed up to the team. As you can see, all of these abilities apply some type of buff, which triggers Iron Man's healing as well. So these two are sharing the healing load, which is good. That way, that they can. It's decentralized, and there's more people that can do it. And then her basic is basic. She's gonna apply slow and then and chain, and she's also applying defense down to both targets, slow and defense down. So that's rescue. Now let's look at her standalone value. It looks like she drops a lot, but she actually does have good things as a standalone character. She has that reflexive barrier on any ally, and it's not just the first time they fall below 50%, it's anytime. That's great. Her special still steals 5%, but it'll only give it to herself without any Pegasus allies. She's still burying everyone and giving regeneration. On her ultimate, she's still cleansing everybody, and she's gonna heal herself and gain offense up, which for herself, offense up isn't really that much value. And then on her basic, it doesn't change. So she takes gamma radiation and 2 tech minis. I think she will be a popular choice because she's this cheap. The As I said, the 5% health steal is nice, but because it's on a 6 turn cooldown, it's not that much of an impact. If it were like a 10 or 15%, okay, but 5% on a 6 turn cooldown isn't that good. Like Kang, any turn he does 3%, right? So uh, it's not gonna do that much. But if you bring her and Iron Man to global, I think the two will work really well. This is of course speculation, but from what it looks like, I think they'll do well. And they have that passive healing. They'll both heal each other, and then she can revive him as well. So out of this team, I would recommend those two for global, and Kestrel for cosmic. Um, Not to say Rescue and Iron Man are must-haves, but I think they're a good choice, especially because they're tech, which has been a derelict and unused origin right now. Uh, there was one more thing I wanted to touch on. I don't know. Maybe I'll think of it at the end of the video. So if you recall the release of Rescue, it was so funny. Uh, Even though, um, what's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow posted a photo of her wearing the Rescue armor before Endgame's release. So it was known that Rescue's in the movie. They would not, the patch was coming up, and they just would not let anybody talk about Rescue. So her name for the longest time was Mystery Support. We knew there was a support coming, but we didn't know who. And it was like Mystery Support for this team. Mystery Support is coming in the next patch. So now Mystery Support is back, and she's actually pretty useful. I think she's one of the important members of this team, especially with that revive. And I think she's gonna be a popular Dark Dimension choice. And who would have guessed that last week? All right, let's move on. Let's look at some new characters, right? Okay. This is Darkhawk. He had been rumored for a while for various teams, and he's finally here, and it's for the Pegasus team. He's a blaster. He uh, Look, let's just get into it. On self or ally crit, he's gonna heal himself only for 15% of this character's max health. Uh, he's gonna gain 10% crit chance per tech ally. So on his team, he's gonna have 50% base crit chance, and then if you make him a raider, I think that goes up to 90, which is great. Or 80? Anyway, it's high. And then Pegasus allies, he's gonna give them 15% crit chance. And then in raids, himself and Pegasus allies gain 30% crit damage. This also leans into that idea of everybody having vulnerables, so having a lot of raiders is going to help that, and there's an incentive here to keep your characters as raiders. When a Pegasus ally uses their basic, he's gonna generate 1 ability energy for the whole team. This is really nice. It's again a passive energy generation, and it's continuous and it's always happening. And a character is either using a valuable ability, or they're using their basic and generating energy so that they can use more valuable abilities on the team. I think that's great, and this is not tied to raids, and I appreciate that. In raids, he's gonna lower the crit chance of all enemies with vulnerable. I think this is a nice thing. It's gonna help protect the team, especially since we don't have a proper tank. We just have Iron Man, who has a reflexive taunt for rescue. Okay, let's look at his first turn, which is his special. He's gonna spread all negative effects, excluding stun, from the primary target to adjacent enemies. Uh, he's gonna attack primary and adjacent for 300 damage, apply disrupted and defense down. Sorry. And then he's gonna give counter to the team, and then offense up to himself and adjacent tech allies. which is interesting, but okay. Uh, you might want to keep him next to Kestrel and Iron Man because they're the bigger damage dealers. He's gonna attack on his ultimate. He's gonna attack all enemies for 340% damage. Again, a big AoE. As a raider, a lot of vulnerables. He's gonna gain 25% damage per offense up on himself. That's why it's nice that on his special he gave himself 2 sets of offense up. In raids, he's going to rewind everybody by 25% on the team, and then he's gonna give speed bar to his team by 25%. This is nice. It's nice for that speed advantage. We're gonna have one more speed advantage coming up in the next character. His speed is, I believe, 107. Let me confirm. Yes, he has 107 speed, so he is also on the slower side. But with Iron Man Infinity Wars kit, we saw that they're gonna have a lot of speed up constantly. So that's not a big deal on the team in raids mostly, uh, because we have these speed bar advantage mechanics. Okay. On his basic, he's gonna attack primary and adjacent. He's gonna apply offense down and gain offense up. And then in raids, this attack has extra crit chance. All right. So let's look at his standalone value. He drops some things from his kit. Outside of raids off of his team, on self or any ally crit, he's gonna heal himself for 15%. This is nice to have like a self heal on a character, and it's on any ally crit. So if you put him on a team with a couple raiders, it's a high chance that he's gonna uh, be sustaining himself pretty well, which I think is good value for a Dark Dimension context as well. So, and then he himself still gains 10% crit chance per tech ally, but not crit damage. That's tied to raids. His special is mainly unchanged, uh, and then his ultimate is still an AOE, and he's gonna offense up. He's gonna give offense up to any ally, so that's nice on any team. His basic also remains mainly unchanged. He's more of a raw damage character. He has that spread, and it will spread ability block, which is nice. But he doesn't himself supply that, or any like a blind or some like a high value spreadable. But he has defense down and disrupt in his kit, and if you pair him with an ability blocker, he can spread that nicely. I think he has good standalone value. He takes Chi, which after Wong, there aren't that many characters that take that. He takes 3 sets, so I think that's a reasonable cost. I could see taking him to Dark Dimension as well. One more character left. Okay, and this is Ironheart Mark II. This is the version of her we saw in Wakanda Forever. All right, on spawn, Ironheart is going to apply 2 deflect to herself and the team. That's like having that, like the war defense. I'm blanking. The word anyway. Deflect on spawn. It's like cap, but it's only for Pegasus allies, whereas cap does it for any ally. In raids, on spawn, she's gonna fill the speed bar for the whole team by 75%. And then in raids on spawn, if she has 4 or more Pegasus allies, she's gonna give 2 ability energy for the whole team, which is great because all of their, aside from Rescue and Kestrel, the new characters, all of their specials only take 3 ability energy. So giving this means they will be using their specials on turn 1, which is often their setup ability. What Unfortunately, Darkhawk's rewind is not on his turn 1. Okay. Her speed stat is 120, so she's going second on the team. Kestrel 125, Riri 120, Rescue 117, and then Iron Man and Darkhawk are 107. Okay. We did the on spawn. When an enemy drops below 50% health, she's gonna apply Disrupted for 2 turns. This is similar to Agatha, but it doesn't have the damage and some of the cleanses. But she does this anytime, not just the first time, which I think is nice. She's gonna give 30% armor to the team, and then in raids, she's gonna lower armor for enemies with vulnerable. Again, that vulnerable synergy. Let's look at her turn 1. It's her special Overdrive Blast. She's gonna attack primary and adjacent and apply defense down. In raids, she's gonna apply trauma as well. She's gonna apply slow to all enemies, not just the ones she hit. And then she's gonna give immunity to the whole team. On her ultimate, it's another AoE. She's gonna attack all enemies for 350% damage. She's gonna clear 2 random positive effects, and then apply slow to everywhere. Apply slow to everyone. She's gonna give immunity to the team, and then she's gonna extend all buffs on her team. In any game mode, she will apply stun to the primary target for 2 turns. Is this the only 2-turn stun? I think maybe Winter Soldier's stun is 2 turns, but that's only in raids. So this might be the first 2-turn stun that we've gotten. If I'm wrong, let me know. So I think this is nice. And then in raids, she's gonna stun another additional random character that doesn't have stun, and then if she has 4 or more Pegasus allies, which why wouldn't she in raids, she's gonna apply stun to a 3rd character. In raids, sorry. In raids, she's gonna gain extra focus per enemy with vulnerable, and this cannot be countered. Okay, let's look at her basic. Attack primary for 300% damage and apply defense down for 2 turns. Again, more defense downs on the team, more synergy for Kestrel. She's gonna apply +1 vulnerable, up to a maximum of 3. Again, another kit vulnerable, we're saying. In raids, if she has 4 or more Pegasus allies, she's gonna gain immunity, and in raids, this cannot be countered. Okay. Again, with the vulnerable synergy, I can see her being a raider. Because she has that vulnerable on basic, I can see her as a skirmisher as well. So that way you can target buff clears. Darkhawk, I think, is gonna be a raider. He's mostly damage. Just increasing the vulnerables on the field, I think, makes sense. Kestrel, I think, stays as a raider on this team. Iron Man, I think, is going to be the only striker, as I said, because he has that rewind. I love rewinds. I'm very partial to basic rewinds, so I think he's going to be a raider. Sorry, a striker. And then Rescue, I would say, is in the air. She is a flex choice. So let's talk about some ISOs. If you keep her as a raider, she has that extra crit chance and damage from Darkhawk, yes. But her ult is a non-damaging ability. Her special, it cannot crit, but it hits everybody. And as a raider, she gets the raider bonus attack, which can crit and can apply vulnerables. So I think raider is a possibility for her. And her basic has 1 chain. It's okay. I wouldn't. I think raider is okay. I think skirmisher is okay for targeted clears. I think healer is definitely a possibility. And I can also see Fortifier because she's the rewinder and she already has barrier mechanics. So giving her that drain and that max barrier might help, and just protecting her because she's the last person we want dying on this team. So there's four possibilities. It's anyone's pick. Whatever feels better to you. Uh, I think that's going to be the ISOs on the team. We'll know more with more play, but it's a vulnerable based team and with some crit bonuses. So I think a lot of raiders make sense for the team. Okay, let's finally look at Ironheart's standalone value. She takes Vibranium, which is a tough ask. Cap takes Vibranium, Shuri takes it, Kingpin, as a popular choice, takes it, Cap Sam takes it. That said, maybe Cap Sam is starting to fall out of the global top meta with more tech characters, but I think he's still pretty valuable. Okay, and she takes three minis. Let's look at her kit. On spawn, she's gonna gain 2 deflect just on herself. When an enemy drops below 50%, she's gonna apply disrupted. That's nice. That's anywhere. On her special, she's gonna apply primary and adjacent and apply defense down, and then she's gonna slow all enemies. This is nice, but nothing crazy. And then she's gonna attack all enemies for 350% damage on her ultimate, clear 2 buffs, and apply slow to everybody. She's gonna gain immunity, and then she's gonna stun for 2 turns on the primary target. As I said, this is probably our only global 2-turn stun. Global, like universal, not just raids. So this might this might be of value. It is on turn 2, but if you there are ways to give her energy before that. She has 120 speed, so uh, I think Star Lord is also 120. Um, if you use Kestrel with her and Darkhawk, Kestrel basic, Darkhawk's passive triggers, she gets energy, she can stun turn 1. But using Kestrel's basic on turn 1 isn't necessary. Or you can use Rescue's basic. Okay. There are ways. It's not easy. It's not standalone, but that's that. And then her basic still applies vulnerable everywhere, and then she extends anything but ability block and stun, which I think is nice. Depending on who you pair her with. Uh, I like extending ability block at least, but it's on our basic, so we can't fault her for that. Is she a Dark Dimension choice? I think out of this team, she's the last one. But if you want to take the 4 global Pegasus characters with Apocalypse, I can see that. That's a lot of tech gear, and you want to take Kang. So, up to you. I would say she's the 4th. I would probably do Rescue because she's cheap, then Iron Man. Those two together, I think, will do really well. And then Darkhawk and Ironheart would be secondary and tertiary choices. Yeah, that's it. Ironheart's ultimate has a very interesting animation that I want to show you guys. It's not crazy, but I love the change of perspective. That's something that we have not seen before. So, I thought that was pretty interesting. Uh, Maybe you guys like it too. It's not the Iron Man animation, but it's a nice one that shows that they're trying new things and doing cool stuff, and the arts department has always been, on top of things. Anyway, that's it for the Tech Raid team. Thank you for going over Pegasus with me. I hope to see you. Let's just do one more, right? Halloween is coming, and we're getting another zombie. The Undying team gets its third member. This is Juggernaut Zombie. He's gonna be a bioprotector, and he's global. Let's get into it. On spawn, he's gonna gain taunt. This is a brand new uh, spawn taunter. So we have a lot now, but yet another one. A lot of them are global, but that's fine. So he's gonna gain spawn on taunt in any game mode. On war offense, he's also gonna gain 2 charges. We're gonna get into what why charges help his kit. When this character drops below 50% health, he's gonna clear taunt and heal block, and then he's gonna gain 2 death proof, and then he's gonna put taunt on a Greg. When an undying ally is summoned or revived, he's gonna gain +1 charged up to a maximum of 5. This is his main mechanic of gaining charges. So whenever Greg respawns or Zombie Tony respawns, he's gonna gain a charge. When attacked, if he has charged, he's gonna gain 30% speed bar plus 5% per undying ally. So that's Hella, Tony, Greg. That's 15, 45. If Hella has summoned that secondary Greg, he's gonna get 50% speed bar whenever he's hit while charged. On war offense, he's gonna gain 10% drain per charged, so that can go up to 50%. And then on death, if he has 5 or more charge, he's gonna revive with 50% health, plus 10% for each non-summoned undying ally. So 70% with Tony and Hella, and he's gonna lose his charges. If he gets more undying allies in following Halloweens, he's gonna get even more health on respawn. He cannot be stunned, and he's gonna give 100% resistance to self and all undying allies. I think the classic Juggernaut that we have in our roster has like 1000% resistance to stun, so in effect he also can't be stunned, which is nice. They're retaining that. He's an unstoppable force. It ties into that lore. And then he's gonna gain 30% damage per charge on this character. That's a lot of damage. When he has 5 charges, he's gonna have 2.5 times his normal damage stat. That's massive. Okay, on this next part is really cool. On war offense, if his health is greater than 50%, he's gonna lower enemy resistance by 75%. Morgans aren't resisting stuff anymore with this. And then he's gonna prevent enemies from gaining speed up. I think that's really cool. That's massive. Okay, let's look at his first turn. Let me give you his speed so that this makes more sense. He has 112 speed, which is technically slow, but he has, as you can see, mechanics to gain more speed bar. Okay. As unstoppable object, his special, it's on a 4-turn cooldown. He's gonna flip taunt and immunity on all enemies. This is similar to Ms. Marvel Hardlight, where she just clears taunt on everyone. She's gonna attack all enemies for 450% damage and apply slow. She's gonna prolong all debuffs, and then on war offense apply +1 trauma. She's gonna gain 3 deflect and +1 taunt up to a maximum of 2. On war offense, irresistible, unavoidable, unblockable. Nice. On his ultimate, on his turn 2, he's gonna rip off his arm and start attacking. He's gonna clear all debuffs on himself, If any were removed, he's gonna heal for 5% per, and then he's gonna heal for an additional 10% just cause. He's gonna spread all bleed from the primary to the adjacent, and then attack primary and adjacent for 500% damage plus 30% additional damage per bleed. And he's gonna do this with 50% drain. On war offense, he's gonna prolong all bleed. This is unblockable, and on war offense, unavoidable. So on war offense, his ultimate and his special are both unavoidable, whereas Zombie Iron Man has 200% accuracy. This one doesn't have that, but his main abilities are unavoidable in his game mode. Um, like Zombie Iron Man can still be dodged, but he can't. So there's different gives and takes. All right, so this 50% drain is really nice, especially compounding with his passive, where if he has 5 charges, he's gonna have 50% drain as well. So in effect, this could go up to 100% drain. All right, let's look at his basic. He's gonna apply 2 bleed to primary, and then attack for 350 damage. On war offense, if the primary had bleed, he's gonna attack for a 10% chunk. But this is only on war offense. But when you're facing like these apocalypses and things like that, 10% chunk can do a lot. He's gonna chain to one adjacent target and spread all bleed from primary. This can be countered, but it's still unavoidable. And then on war offense, it's unblockable. Uh, if they release him to Zombie Iron Man, which might be their MO for this Undying team, we might be looking at low stars and low red stars again. So it's nice that he has that chunk. It's nice that he has this special with extra focus, and he still has the revival mechanic, though it's a little bit tempered compared to Zombie Iron Man's. I think on the team, he could be a raider. He could be a skirmisher. The skirmisher mainly for when he's small, like Zombie Iron Man. Mine is small. I run him as a skirmisher. Similarly, if this guy is stuck with low stars, we might end up having to use him as a skirmisher. Um, he could be a striker. I think maybe Zombie Iron Man is probably a better striker. You know, again, it's based on stats. One ISO that I really like for him, as usual, Fortifier. I think Fortifier will help him a lot. At Fortifier 5, he's gonna get extra drain. That's perfect. He already has drain. He anytime he hits anyone, he's gonna heal to full. That's perfect. But beyond that, if as I said, if he is low stars, he's a taunting tank. So he has a target on his back, and if we just don't have the health stat to back that up, he might just die. His revive mechanic doesn't work like Zombie Iron Man's. He needs 5 charges on death to be able to come back. So if you're not up to 5 yet, he might just keel over and not come back. So I think Fortifier will help him with that. And then on the other side, every time he revives, he's gonna have that barrier on spawn. So I think those are good things. Also, he doesn't have defense up on his kit. Off the top of my head, I'm blanking if Hela or Iron Man do that. I think maybe Greg, when he dies, he applies defense up. But having that minor defense up will also help his case. So that's Zombie Juggernaut. And now finally, this is the final. Let's look at his standalone value. He does lose a lot. I retained one war call out, and I'm gonna talk about why. He in any game mode, anywhere, he's gonna have spawn taunt, which is great. We we've been using these characters often, whether it's Absorbing Man or even Drax still. So that's a value to any team. So that's great. When he drops below 50% health, he's gonna clear taunt and heal block, and he's gonna gain 2 death proof. That's nice. He has a reflexive support for himself, and that's always. Um, it's not just the first time. He cannot be stunned, and he gains 100% resistance, which as a tank, that's really valuable. Okay, let's look at why I kept this war call out here. I just wanted to mention it. If his health is over 50%, uh, he's gonna lower enemy resistance and prevent speed up in war offense. Always. It's not team dependent. This could be a niche use, but you know, it might come in handy. Preventing speed up is really big. This is another reason why I think having that fortifier barrier on him is really helpful. That way, when they hit him, they eat into the barrier, and you have more time for to go under 50% health. I think fortifier is a very strong choice for him. On his special, he's still gonna flip taunt and immunity on all enemies. Flipping immunity is great. A lot of enemies now have immunity, and it makes it hard to control them with our like early ability blocks and stuns. Unless you can clear it, uh, it ends up not working. Like Black Cat, for example, hurts from that. He's gonna attack everyone again, apply slow, and then extend all debuffs. This is really nice. And then he's gonna still gain deflect and taunt. On his ultimate, he's gonna clear debuffs, he's gonna heal still. He's gonna spread bleed from the primary to the adjacents, attack primary and adjacents, and then he's gonna have drain. Again, this is an unblockable attack. And then on his basic, he's gonna apply 2 bleed to primary, and then chain to an adjacent and spread all bleed from primary to the secondary. This cannot be countered and is unavoidable. He he loses some things. The most important is his charge and revival mechanic. Off of his team, he's just a tank. But he has these niche abilities, especially this one on war offense, that I think uh, may have some, may give him some standalone value. And then looking at his gear, he's bio. He takes Tesseract. I think it's like renamed to Infinite Energy or something. Anyway, he takes Tesseract. And then he takes 3 sets of bio minis. I don't think this is a Dark Dimension choice. Even I've been high on Zombie Iron Man for Dark Dimension because he has that mind control. Juggernaut doesn't really have that, and even if you brought the 2 of them, he's not going to revive still, and he he doesn't necessarily um, provide that much value to the team. He has self heal, which is okay, but I think you're better off using your bio gear elsewhere in Dark Dimension. And I think that's about it. Thank you for going over the Pegasus kits with me. Thank you for looking at Zombie Juggernaut with me. I am looking forward to getting to play these characters, Theorycraft even more with them, and I'm curious to hear what you think. So let me know in the comments. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.